know where you were so you know, and know where you are so you know where you're going. Because listen, we always say this often, right? The world is cyclical. Everything happens, it's cyclical. It happens again and again and again and again. And if you continue to run your life that way, well, it's always going to be the same. Year over year, you're going to have the same calculations, the same sales, the same down months, the same everything. And until you start to study your metrics and implement change, then you're just going to keep running the rat race, or you're going to be the gerbil in the wheel, man. And you don't want to be that. You don't want to be that. You want to grow, you want to evaluate, you want to create.
Welcome to the David Adam Kurz Show.
All right, welcome guys to another episode of the David Adam Kurz Show. So excited to have you guys here today. Listen, guys, if you're listening to this, whatever platform you found this on and you're listening to it on, I appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. So we've got like, geez, man, maybe 800, 900 videos on YouTube, and we want to grow the subscribership there. So if you can, go ahead and subscribe. Every time we post a new cool video, you'll get the information on it, especially when we do our weekly classes and courses and things like that. You'll get access on that information. So definitely would love for you guys to subscribe. Also, if you're listening to this on a podcast platform, I think we're on Spotify, we're on Google Play, Google Podcasts, and obviously Apple Podcasts. And so whatever you're on, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We would definitely want to, stay in touch with you and be giving you as much information as we can. And as you're aware, we've got the Freedom Achiever Academy. I'm going to go ahead and pitch it now, guys, because it's very important to me. We spent, I mean, man, just over a year building the Freedom Achiever Academy. It's got over 350 coaching and training videos in it, pamphlets, downloads, Q&As, really great stuff for you to use in your business to help you grow in your business. Now, the Freedom Achiever Academy has been theoretically built for real estate agents. Doesn't mean that if you're a plumber, you can't use the same or similar information. The truth is that business is business. We're all building small business, and we're hoping, many of us hoping to turn them into, 7-figure and 8-figure businesses. And so that's exactly what the Freedom Achiever Academy does. So go to freedomachieveracademy.com and go ahead and join and get a 7-day free trial. Now, here's the crazy part. 7-day free trial will end September 15th of 2023. So we're going to kill the 7-day free trial. You're going to have to just pay to try it out. Prices are actually going to go up. We've noticed that, folks are logging in, they're loving it, they're really getting intense with it, and we want you to be intentional with it. So we feel like when you pay for something and it has value, you're going to be rocking and rolling with it. And so we definitely want to see that continue to progress with you guys. And so join the Freedom Achiever Academy, really get some intense focus on there. So, man, going into Q4, so it's September 5th. Today, I'm recording this on September 5th. This will probably come out next week, so about 7 days from now. And Q4, October, November, December. Historically in Q4, a lot of people begin to slow down, especially in the real estate business. And I don't know what it is. Personally, I don't slow down. I continue thriving and pushing forward. As a matter of fact, I can be 100% honest with you. December has been historically some of my best months over the last decade, because I don't believe in just taking off the second I eat turkey for Thanksgiving and basically quitting for the rest of the freaking year. I don't understand why people do that. I'll never get why people do that. And so if you're listening to me and you know anything about me, man, I'm going to push you to work harder and harder every single time. I'm going to push you to do better. I'm going to push you to strive. I'm going to push you to, create. I'm going to push you to do better every single day, become a better version of yourself the next day. Right. And so if that's the case, then you can't slow down Q4. By the way, in any sales job, the work that you're doing in Q4 is to feed you in Q1, right? So if you mess around and think, oh, I'm doing good in Q4, well, it's because you did good work in Q3. And what's going to happen is Q1 is going to roll around and no one has money. You ever notice how your sales kind of may go down in January, February, and people's excuses, oh, we spent a lot of money for the holidays. We went on this crazy vacation. We had to buy kids gifts. We did all this stuff, right? And that's not always the truth, right? Especially if you're in sales and you have control over your own income. Now, let me repeat that. Especially if you are in sales and have control over your income, whether you're an entrepreneur or intrapreneur in the sales world, right? You have control over your income. The more you sell, the more you earn. That's commission based, right? I love commission jobs, by the way, right? Because it is virtually, I was going to say it's virtually impossible to get comfortable, but that's not true either, because some people are. But it's virtually impossible to get comfortable if your desire is to do better all the time, right? Q over Q, quarter over quarter, right? And so here are some of the things that you need to be doing in Q4. Listen, you're in sales. If you're in real estate, guys, you're in sales, you're in marketing, you're in, HR, you're in everything, right? And so if you sell bicycles, you got a little bicycle shop, what, man, you're in sales, you're in marketing, you're in all this stuff, right? So first thing I'm going to say, and we're going to go over top 5 things that you need to focus on in Q4. And so the top 5 things, number 1, focus on your year over year comparisons, right? Comparing current year-to-date data with previous year-to-date data. Understand the most important metrics of your business and measure them. See where you're doing better. Focus on the anomalies. Focus on things that may have changed. Focus on what changed in the market. Use reporting tools to get this information in front of you. Have an assistant draw up a worksheet that talks about last year versus this year. Know where you were and where you are so you know where you're going. Let me repeat that again. Know where you were so you know, and know where you are so you know where you're going. Because listen, we always say this often, right? The world is cyclical. Everything happens is cyclical. It happens again and again and again and again. And if you continue to run your life that way, well, it's always going to be the same. Year over year, you're going to have the same calculations, the same sales, the same down months, the same everything. And until you start to study your metrics and implement change, then you're just going to keep running the rat race, or you're going to be the gerbil in the wheel, man. And you don't want to be that. You don't want to be that. You want to grow. You want to evaluate. You want to create. All right. Next is cost evaluation. Number 2 is cost evaluation. So when we talk about cost evaluation, we're talking about evaluating the things that you are spending money on. This is a challenging area of your business because the cost of your business operation inevitably is going to go up. The more you do and the more you build, it's going to go up. But if left unmanaged and uncontrolled, you'll be spending money on things that have no ROI or no ROT, because I think ROT is very important as well. ROI, return on investment, ROT, return on time, right? So is my assistant a good investment, and are they providing me ROI and ROT? Is the work that they are doing relieving me of time? And is the work that they're doing creating opportunity for more income, right? And so that's just one piece. But let's say you got a lead generating program. Let's say you got a computer system. Let's say you got a program. For instance, I just found another program. I'm in the process of developing it and coding it so that my coaching clients can use it. And with that program, what we're doing is we are separating information and making it possible for people to cancel their email campaigns, their text campaigns, their Calendly campaigns, all that other stuff, because we want to have it all in one place for our clients. We want to be able to make it easy to use and predictable and accessible to our clients. And so instead of having 8 different systems that they're spending massive amounts of money on, they can focus on one system and focus on that, right? And this is not going to work for everything, by the way. The system I'm creating is for things like, follow-up, and things for like, if you have different types of clients that you work with. If you're in real estate, then probably the best thing to do is have a CRM that's really attached to a front consumer-facing website, right? And so maybe you separate that. Right. And so it's for different things. So for instance, I use mine for my coaching clients. I use mine for my advertising clients. I use mine for, things of that nature. Right. And I do use it for events and event creation, event calculation. I built websites through it. I do a lot of great stuff in there. And so when I bring you this information, what I'm saying to you is I have already done the cost evaluation. If I spend on X, then Y and Z are unnecessary, and I'm spending maybe close to $1,000 on things that I don't need. And so these cost evaluations are critical in your business because you have to remain productive. And so what you're doing is you're labeling everything that you're spending money on, and then you evaluate the cost of it. You evaluate if it has a good return on investment. You take the opportunity to call the places that maybe have a smaller return on investment that you're expecting and try to negotiate cost or system or get something out of it that's going to help the ROI pick up, right? And if there are things in there that are not giving you a return on investment or return on time, get rid of them. Because again, if left unmanaged, you'll just have bam, bam, bam. Like I know so many of you right now, so many of you have like 15 apps on your phone that are just tapping into you. Go to your Apple iPhone, go to how much you're spending in the section where it tells you how much comes out of your account every month. And I bet you it's $2.99 for this, $14.99 for that, $5.99 for this. It's Netflix, it's Hulu, it's, Disney Plus, it's, CapCut, it's this, it's that, blah, blah, so forth and so on. And all these different things, they're tapping into your wallet, right? And then when you do the math and you add it all up, you're spending a few $100s on things that probably don't use. And so evaluating your cost and knowing your return on investment will help you eliminate the things that are not necessary, adjust and maybe renegotiate the things that you enjoy and are working, but not as much as you'd like to. And then maybe the things that are doing amazing, the things that have really strong return on investment, maybe you invest in them more. If you delete some things, you could take some of that money and reallocate it appropriately. Now, next thing we'll talk about is a product service evaluation. Like, what is your product and how is your service? And evaluate it. How are you providing the best product or the best service or the best consumer experience? And how can you adjust it? How can you change it? How can you make it better, right? How can you make improvements? How can you make changes? And where can you make cuts? Because right now it's 2023. And if you're in sales, you know that the world has changed. Interest rates are up. Crazy things are happening. People are nervous. Less spending is happening. So where do you need to cut so that you can survive whatever's happening in front of us and then be extra effective when things start to shift again? Right? All right. Employee evaluations. If you've got employees, listen, Q4 is the time to evaluate your employees. Now, I hate to be the one. I'm not trying to say to you, fire people the week before Christmas. I think that's shitty, and I think you shouldn't do that, right? But it is time to evaluate the employees. Do you need everybody you have employed? Or better yet, do you not have enough employees? Do you not have the right people? What about evaluating your employees for the position that they currently play? I'll give you an example. I have an executive assistant. Now, this guy, he's a great executive assistant, but he has additional skills like SEO and Google Ads and, Facebook marketing and things of that nature. And so it made sense for me to go find another executive assistant, put them in that place and put him in charge of tech and development. Now he can focus on websites and all this other stuff and not have to worry about confirming my appointments for the day. And that makes the most sense for me in those situations, right? And so it's an opportunity for you to assessing the current workforce and really investing in future growth, taking that opportunity to invest in future growth. All right, let's talk budgeting. Now, if you don't, money in, money out, money in, money out. If you don't know where your money is, baby, you're going to lose it all. And so here's the opportunity for you to start looking at the major areas of operations and come up with realistic budgets for next year. Have a budget. It's crazy. We listen to all these major companies talk about budget. I get a budget, and the budget for next year, and the budget for next year, and the budget for Q4, right? And then most small businesses have zero idea what their budget is for Q4. And for next year, God forbid, we limit ourselves to a budget or create a budget where things need to be spent. And so really focus on your budget and get ahead of the game. Get ahead of the game by creating the income that you have coming in, evaluating where it's going to go from there, up or down, evaluating your systems, placing money where it belongs, and start budgeting yourself out for next year. Planning your income, by the way, right? Now, here's a bonus thing, man. And I'm, listen, I'm a big mindset guy. I love mindset. Talk about it. I love business to death, but mindset for me, without it, none of it exists personally. Like, you can't run an effective business if you don't have an effective mind and body. That's my personal opinion. Some people might not agree with me. And the truth is, I don't really care if you agree with me or not, because that's my belief and I'm going to run with it. You can't adjust that, right? So the mind is so critical and you have to have a great mindset. And so focus on that. Q4, focus on the things that you're going to do to alleviate up here into the brain cells, right? Plan your vacations out. Plan your time off out. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with saying on this time we're going to go on vacation, right? And because if you don't, guess what? The whole year runs by and you just worked, and then you didn't give yourself a rejuvenation break. Plan your workouts. Are you going to lose weight? Are you going to gain weight? Are you going to get muscular? Are you going to get skinnier? Like, what's your plan of attack for your body? And then have some fun, man. It's Q4. Build your dream board for next year, man. Like, have some fun with that. Build your dream board for next year. What is on that vision board? What is on that vision board? Is it a yacht? Is it a plane? Like, what is it? I have stuff that I change out. I have stuff that I accomplish, and then I get rid of those things. And then what's my next accomplishment? Then I have the things that I know that I will have that are far out and far reached, right? And I could look at it right now and I could see it, man. I mean, listen, you have to dream big or you're capping yourself. I heard something the other day and I posted it and it said, dreaming big and doing big things is our responsibility back to humanity. And as a matter of fact, what he actually said was, if you don't dream big and do big things, then you are being selfish. Because when you dream big and when you do big things, it creates a ripple effect in humanity. And more people are the beneficiaries of the things that you build and grow. Think about building a big company with 50 employees. I just mentioned hiring 50 people that potentially may have a hard time finding jobs, but you were able to give them to take care of their families, feed their families, do all that great stuff because you took the time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it at that. Next week, we're going to talk a little bit about investing. Next week, we might talk a little bit about the government. I've been trying to dig in a lot, and so I'll prepare you guys for next week, but I've been trying to dig in a lot in low-income housing, where it's important, why it's important, and for who it's important, right? So ponder on that for a minute because I want to talk about that next week at a very high level. And I want to see, how do we hold our government officials accountable for creating housing for everyone, right? Because I know my realtors out there, they're thinking, man, dude, it's sexy to sell big property. And it is. Not everybody can afford that. So where do we put them? And for who? And that's a real theory right there, right? Is it for the people that, don't want to go get real jobs? Or is it for immigrants? Or is it for the elderly? Or is it, listen, whatever your opinion is your opinion, but I'd be interested to hear next week where everybody's at with this. You know what I mean? All right, guys, I'm out. Again, please subscribe. Please check out the Freedom Achiever Academy. Join the Academy. And if you're interested in coaching with our team one-on-one, I would love to have a conversation with you. Just go to my website, davidadamkurz.com. There's a calendar on there somewhere. You can click schedule time with me. I'd be super excited to have a conversation with you, or you could just submit a form on the website. Let me know your thoughts about why you want to be coached. And, come to our weekly webinars. We're doing them every week. You can catch them on YouTube. It's a really exciting time for us. And so I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Y'all take care.